whothatdaily.com. That's right, the whothatdaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, whothatdaily.com is your site. The whothatdaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, Who Dat Nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who Dat to the Black and Gold family members. What's up, man? Welcome to the Coma, man. Thursday edition, we're in the building. Big ups to the great Saint Think Tank. Much love to the Black and Gold family. I appreciate y'all being in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q, the host, and you're the great Saint Think Tank, and I salute the Who Dat Nation. I salute the Black and Gold Nation. I salute the Saints and the entire great Saint Think Tank. Big ups to the fam. What's happening, fam? Appreciate y'all being in the building on this Thursday stream. Now, I'm not going to hold you guys for too long. I know I'm popping in at around about 10. I had a lot of stuff to do today, but we in the building, fam. So with that being said, I'm going to go over some news notes tonight and just a few stories. And like I said, I'm not going to hold you guys for very long on this episode of The Coma. So much love to the fam. Big ups to brother Jerry in the building. Who that to you? Be kind. Who that to you as well? Tim Dunn. What's up, Tim? Who that to you? Gabriel Thomas. Who that to you? G-Ree 504. Who that to you? Torrey Shepard Sr. Who that to you? And let me see who else we got. Brian Pearson. Who that to you? Jarvis Collins. What's up, Jarvis? Who that to you, fam? John Thompson. Who that to you? Clint. What's up, Clint? Who that to you, fam? Much love. Pelicans Nola. Who that to you? What's up, Pelicans Nola? Who that to you, fam? Appreciate you in the live stream as well. Who else we got chiming in? I don't want to forget nobody here. All right. What's up, Ja? Ja Williams in the building. What's up, fam? John Thompson. What's up, brother John? Who that to you as well? 504 Hot Boy. What's up, fam? Who that to you? Tyrone Jones. What's up, Tyrone? Who that to you, fam? Appreciate you being in the building. Gundam is in the building as well. Who that to you as well? Much love to the fam, man. Much love to you guys. Appreciate you. Kiyoki. What's up, Kiyoki? Who that to you, baby? Who that? And big ups to all the great Saint Think Tank. What's up, Quincy? Who that to you? Quincy, good to see you, fam. Much love to Quincy chiming in. Hey, Katie. What's up, Katie? Who that to you, baby? Much love. That's right. That's right. The Sports Coma Queens are in the building, fam. Much love to you. And anybody out there that didn't get there, what's up, Okula? Okula's in the building, fam. What's happening? Who that to you? And all the great Saint Think Tank family members, if you didn't hear your name, give me a who that. And I give you a who that back, baby. So like I said, in this episode of this Thursday stream, fam, I'm not going to hold you guys too long, I promise. I got about 3 or so pieces that I'm going to go over with you guys on this episode of The Coma. And of course, as you know, this Thursday stream is called TSC, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, hints at Saints Super Secondary with Xavien Howard. Of course, I'm going to share this article with you. And are the Saints working on a super secondary? Well, this all started from a tweet that was put out by Jeff Duncan several days ago. And a lot of people are interested in it. And of course, the Saints seem interested in it, despite the fact that Laddie Daddy contract has not been done yet. So with that being said, are the Saints willing to fork over for Laddie Daddy, I think so, but also to absorb Xavien Howard's current contract, then give him an extension to satisfy him and have Laddie Daddy and Collinsdale with Chauncey coming up in the wings a couple of years later. Also, you still have 10.6 on the Marcus Williams tag that the Saints are carrying on to the season. So if the Saints really ready to absorb over $30 million in just the secondary alone, are we that serious about fixing the secondary or upgrading it? This most certainly would be a major upgrade of epic proportions and would definitely make the Saints look a lot more interesting than giving Coach Chris Richard, the new DB coach, giving him the pieces to conduct that Legion of Boom that he wanted to put in New Orleans. No doubt about it, baby. That would be actually special if that is indeed the plan. Because all indications saying that Lattimore, the Saints do want to keep Lattimore, but absorb Xavien Howard. We shall see. We shall see. Big ups to the rest of the fam. Kevin McKnight. What's up, Kev? Who that to your fam? Appreciate you as well. Who else? What's up, Rudy? Rudy's in the building as well. Brother Byron's in the building as well. Much love to the fam and appreciate y'all. So let's cover this article and we'll get into it, family. Please feel free to hit upon the like button. If you hadn't hit the like button, hit the hell out that like button. And if you're not a subscriber, please feel free to subscribe and join the Great Saint Think Tank. I'd like to give a big ups to Paul Joseph, who followed us on Facebook as well. So much love to you guys on Facebook and the rest of the medias. Also, big ups to the family members on Reddit that's coming over from Reddit as well. Reddit shows us a lot of love, man, and we're going to give Reddit some love too because a lot of people follow the Coma from over there. So with that being said, big ups to Mark. What's up, Mark? Who that to you, fam? Appreciate you being in the building as well. Big ups to Mark. And Brother Pat Rich is in the building. Who that to you, Brother Pat Rich? Good to see you. Marco, what's up, Marco? Who that to you, fam? Appreciate you being in the building as well. Much love to you, bro. Appreciate it. All right, so fam, without further ado, we'll get into this article right here covering the news. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson hints at super secondary. This is coming from ProFootballNetwork.com, covered by Adam Beasley, who shares a tweet from Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who's simply just a tweet, but interesting nonetheless to even consider that. That would be really intriguing if the Saints are really interested in doing that. A lot of the current moves say they are not interested in constructing a secondary that's that expensive. That's well over $30 million that'll be just strictly within the secondary. The 10.6 for Marcus Williams' tag that Saints have allow him to play on, and of course Chauncey's new, Laddie Daddy, Marshawn Lattimore's rework deal, which is just under $1 million. But the new contract will make him a top 3, top 5 best played cornerback in the business. And then, of course, Xavien Howard comes in as one of the top 5 in the game as paid, and he wants a pay increase. So this will be interesting if the Saints want to invest that much money into the secondary. I mean, it's a bonus in my opinion to do it, to put those guys together. Boy, would it be special, but that's still a lot of money. So let's get into the article right here. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson hints at Saints super secondary that includes Xavien Howard. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson tweeted about New Orleans Saints super secondary involving Xavien Howard. Wishful thinking or rumor with substance. And he goes, it's a trade in the works that would send star cornerback Xavien Howard heading to the Big Easy. That's certainly one way to interpret a Thursday morning tweet by New Orleans Saints safety Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who says, of course, and of course you see the tweet right here by CD Deuce. That's his Twitter. And he says, Lattimore, Lat, Xavien, CD, he put PJ in for whatever reason, Malcolm, and then Marcus, Sheesh. And of course, the translation as read here is Lat for Marshawn Lattimore, Xavien for Xavien Howard, CD, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, of course, Malcolm Jenkins, and Marcus Williams. And he also threw PJ Williams in here for whatever reason. I guess not to leave him left out. But of course, this is interesting, man. What do you guys think about this tweet, fam? And all defensive backs, but all Howard are currently members of the New Orleans Saints. All but Howard are currently members of the New Orleans Saints defense. Howard, arguably the best corner in football, wants a raise, although not necessarily a huge one. Dolphins have, up until now, been unwilling to give him a salary bump. The impasse could come to a head next week when the Dolphins report to training camp. Howard skipped the team's mandatory minicamp over his contract unhappiness, and there's been no guarantee yet that he'll report. That's why Gardner's tweet was so eye-opening. Okay, so was the social media post based on inside information is the question. There's been no other public reason to believe that such a deal is close. Howard has kept quiet since his minicamp holdout, and no Dolphins official has spoken publicly on the situation since June. Now, of course, we know about Jeff Duncan popping up in here, and Jeff Duncan then spitting his game saying that the Saints would go after Xavien Howard if he was available for trade. Currently, we're saying that he is up for trade, and we'll see something shake from this real soon if it's indeed what they want. Of course, remember they did sign the former Cowboy cornerback, gave him big chips, and then Xavien Howard outplayed him, and that's why he wanted a bump in pay. Randolph, who that T, says, Q, I know it's wishful thinking on my part, but I would love to trade for Akeem Hicks and Xavier Rhodes. Yeah, Rhodes, I think he's with the Colts. I want to say he signed with the Colts. Akeem Hicks is having issues with the Bears. And I've said this before. Thank you, Randolph. I've said this before, that I absolutely love any trade that you can think of that can bring Akeem Hicks and the Saints back together. Let me tell you what, that would be the Canadian connection in the interior. You talking about the Canadian connection. David Onyemata and Akeem Hicks in the middle would absolutely make the Saints one of the roughest, toughest, meanest, bulldog bad defenses in the history of all of pro football. Akeem Hicks and David Onyemata at the prime of their careers causing absolute havoc. You cannot single block Akeem Hicks. You cannot single block David Onyemata. It would be an absolute flipping field day of epic proportions if we brought Akeem Hicks here. I mean, I'm for any trade involved bringing Hicks back to the city. He never wanted to leave the city. When asked about this a couple of years ago, he was asked about his tenure with the Saints. He actually was still frustrated about that because he never wanted to leave this city. He felt like he was shipped out unceremoniously. And remember that when we had him here, they were playing him out of position. They were playing him at defensive end, which was absolute. I don't know what was wrong with their brains then, but they were absolutely doing a lot of stupid moves back then. They had Will Smith converted to a linebacker on the back end of his career. I think they was trying to create reasons to get rid of players. They had Akeem Hicks playing defensive end for his whole summation here. Very few times you see him move inside, but that was totally the misuse of what he is. He was an interior defensive lineman. The Saints never used him in that, the majority of the time. Now I think it was just absolutely stupid. But outside of that, the Saints have a history of bringing players back to the fold. That left and came back. There are quite a few players that has had that happen. You guys can name a few. But Akeem Hicks, I would be absolutely ecstatic to have Akeem Hicks back in any type, shape, or form. The team with David Onyemata to form the Canadian connection inside the Saints interior defensive line. I would absolutely love it. Hopefully that is something that could be put to the forefront because I would absolutely love that. Thank you, Rudy. Thank you, Randolph. Appreciate you. All right. What's up, Darian? Big ups to Darian. Damien as well. Much love to the fam. Who that to both you brothers. Appreciate y'all being in the building. True Louisiana. Big ups to you as well. Adrian. What's up, Adrian, baby? Who that to you as well. Much love to Adrian. Much love to the Sports Coma Queens. We got to show the ladies some love. Much love to my ladies in the building. DLP is in the building. What's up, brother? DLP as well. Much love to you. Trey Joseph's in the building. Who that to the family members? Please hit the like button, fam. Thank y'all. All right, let's get into it. All right, now, like I said, I was really not paying attention to this, and just Jeff Duncan said what he said, and Jeff Duncan been working, talking to the Saints for years. So he's not going out, and for what I know about Jeff Duncan, been reading his articles and listening to him, Jeff Duncan is not going to he's not one of those people that's just going to throw his name out there like that, attach to some information that's not going to be true. He usually, if he going to leak some stuff, he going to put some stuff out there he know where it came from. So, I mean, that's why, but Duncan has a good history of that. That's why I'm kind of leaning on it and saying, man, this might have something to it. Now, was the social media post based on inside information, meaning that of the tweet of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson right here that says Lat, Xavien, CD, PJ, Malcolm, Marcus, sheesh. And of course, that's the Super Saint secondary, AKA the Legion of Boom redo, coming back, Legion of Boom 2, whatever you want to call it. Okay, there's been no public reason to believe that such a deal is close. Howard is kept quiet since the minicamp holdout, Now, it's very unique, says Dolphin coach Brian Flores said during minicamp, it's a renegotiation of an extension after 1 year, and it's honestly something that hasn't been done before. I'm not saying that we're drawing a line in the sand, but different players set the market every year. All right, he says, we love X. Let me go ahead and say that right now so you guys can make sure you write that. We love him. He's very productive. He's a team player. He's an important player on this team. But again, it's a unique situation. We want to keep him here. Again, markets are set. Specific to Byron, markets are set differently every year. Yeah, that's a part of the conversation. But again, that's what makes it unique, like I mentioned, which I'm not sure everyone can understand. Yes, listen, this is the portion is true. What's up, Sensational Gent? How you doing, fam? Appreciate you chiming as well. Who that to you? What's really interesting about Brian Flores' comment about the markets is set is, yeah, that's true. The markets are set depending on who's there, but also value is a big part of it. And of course, there have been times when players have outplayed their contracts. And this guy had 10 interceptions last year. And of course, I know he made more money because if you lead the team in interception, those incentives most of the contracts are incentive based. You get more and more money. But obviously, he feels like, listen, I need to be compensated like a top 10 cornerback. The last 2 or 3 years, I've been the top in the NFL in terms of interceptions. I get picks. This is who I am. I get picks. So, let's up this thing. Let's up this thing. So whether it's a meal or two, that's yet to be determined. But he's not reporting. He's taking that stance. And the reason he's not reporting to camp is because if you look at his contract, which I had an opportunity to show the family members the last stream when we talked about this show, when we mentioned the Xavien Howard show, I showed the family members the contract of Xavien Howard. It has an opt-out after this year. So after the 2021 year, the team has a team opt-out where they can opt out of his contract and leave him paying him at what he is. He knows they got an opt-out right there. So he's using this year before the opt-out as leverage based on last year's 10 interception performance. You see that? So he's using that as leverage to try to force the team to make a decision on whether it's going to pay him or simply move him to somebody that will. So we'll see how it all twists and turns here, but it's a very interesting. And Xavien is a very small cornerback. He knows that they have an opt-out. And, and he talking about market set, every player has such and such, such and such. Well, I mean, that might be true to a degree. But at the same time, if this guy is a really good cornerback and he's going to use that 10 interception year, plus the fact that he knows the opt-out is coming after this upcoming season, he's going to use that as leverage to try to get that, to make that happen, to try to force him to do something. And I'm glad when players use their leverage to make plays happen, because the team will most certainly use its leverage all the time on these players to force them to stay in contracts or what have you. So when you have an opportunity to have leverage, please feel free to use it if it's going to benefit you. Okay, so here it is. We love X. Let him go ahead and say that right now. Okay, he said that. All right, but again, that's what makes him unique. I mentioned before, I'm sure everyone can understand that. Byron Jones' name is relevant to the conversation because he's the highest paid cornerback on Miami's roster. And this is the big thing, because you bring Byron Jones on from the Cowboys. Remember, he making a fat check and Xavien outperformed him. So that's what a lot of this is coming from, that I outperformed your highest paid cornerback. Thus, I'm supposed to be the highest paid cornerback because of my production. And you can't really hedge your bets and say he's right or wrong, because the truth is, if this guy is getting more interception to the guy than the guy that has the money, that's not making sense. We're paying the guy the big money because we feel like he needs to be productive and get us those interceptions. But Xavien saying, listen, I'm getting it and I'm not getting paid. I'm supposed to be getting more money than Byron Jones. Well, how much Byron Jones is making? Let's look at it. Howard signed a 5-year deal at $75.25 extension before the 2019 season. But in reality, it was a 6-year deal with an annual value of less than $13 million. Then in 2020 offseason, the Dolphins signed Jones, a free agent on the open market, to a 5-year deal at $82.5. So you can see where the stink is right there. So Howard's been productive at $75.2, and then you bring in another guy at $82.5. You can see the difference in there. It jumps quite a bit, doesn't it, family? It jumps $6-7 million. That's a big difference when you look at it over a term of years. The dynamic hasn't set well with Howard, particularly after he put together an all-pro season in 2020 that earned him consideration of the NFL Player of the Year honors. The Dolphins open the training camp on Wednesday. If Howard boycotts it, the Dolphins will have a choice whether to fine him $50,000 a day based on the language in the CBA. Now, the Athletic's Jeff Duncan wrote on Twitter last week that if Howard hits the trade market, I expect the Saints to be heavily involved in trying to land him. So that's where a lot of that came from, because the interest is most certainly there for the Saints and Xavien Howard, because they know that to land a guy like that, the Saints are willing to give him, perhaps give, Howard the necessary revenue to be the team's top cornerback. They see him as a very featured piece there to come in secondary and play with Lattimore. I don't think the Saints get rid of Lattimore for Xavien Howard. I think they want Lattimore here. It's just a matter of time before they pay Lattimore. But if you had a situation that occurred where you can get one of the top cornerbacks in the business that pair with your guy, and then his guy is significantly younger than who you had last year that was paired with that same guy, you might want to jump at that. And like I said, it's not against, it's kind of against what the Saints were doing in terms of where they were at early in the camp. Remember, we was talking about this, family. We talked about the fact that the way the Saints were moving was in an effort to save money. But this would kind of fly in the face of that. But when you have something like that crops up, family, sometimes you just have to say, you know what, damn it, I have to make a decision on what I'm going to do with this, because this guy is available simply because Dolphins are not going to pay him. Hey, we'll find the money, and pay Xavien Howard. He'll most certainly upgrade our secondary. So we'll see how it all shakes. Is most intriguing, man, to say the least, about Xavien Howard. And the fact that you see Chauncey Gardner-Johnson tweeting in the tweet right here about this situation, that he was really interested in seeing that situation happen. So Xavien, CD, PJ Malcolm, Sheets, the super secondary of the Saints, will be in full effect, man, most certainly. So with that being said, interesting, man. Let me ask the Great Saint Think Tank, what do y'all think about this, man? Do y'all think about this? Put in the chat what you guys think about it. What's up, GM Kev? Tim says, Big Q, he says, you think the Saints strategy is to kick the can down the road on some of these contracts until the cap goes way up in 2023 with the new TV deal? That's a portion of it. At first, I was saying, okay, they have Saints possibly can have 10 draft picks for the upcoming season. Now, they've gambled a bit, like when they put the tag on Marcus Williams. They could have let Marcus Williams walk out of here and drafted a safety to replace him. They had a lot of good safeties in the draft the Saints could be playing at the safety position. But the Saints deemed, that's the word on the street, and that's why they came to an impasse, because the Saints looking at 11, maybe 11 and a half, 12. He says not 13 and sticking to it. So I mean, did the Saints get a steal on it this year at 10.6? But the tag goes up next year and every year that you tag them. So that's a kick the can mentality as well. The Saints do lose 20-something free agents next year, and they're not going to be able to keep everybody. So we're going to have a few cheap veterans in there and a few more feisty moves in the draft to keep our team together. So and you make a point on that, Tim, not all of these guys are going to be subject to that, so I can still see the Saints are still going to have the kick the can mentality, just not as OP'd as they've been. You know what I'm saying? Like for the Super Bowl year when we pushed it all the way up to 100 million, to a degree, they're going to still have that tendency in them, because that's just how that's a part of their matrix. You just hope that they be a little bit more responsible in using it. So thanks for the question, fam. Big ups to you, Lee. Good to see you in the chat, Lee Wood. Much love to you, fam. What's up, brother Donovan? Who that to you? Good to see you in the chat as well. Very intriguing, man, about this whole thing, man. Randolph says, Q, last season, Will Lutz missed a few field goals and some fans lost their mind. But did they notice the poor ball placement by Morstead? It all has to work to be successful. This is the point. Morstead last year was off a bit, man. Morstead struggled last year. And really the truth was, and we know it, family, when the Saints opened up. What's up, Greg? Who that to you, fam? When the Saints opened the season up, remember they had two active punters, and people saying, Q, what the hell do they got two punters for? They were supposed to cut Tommy Morstead then. They were supposed to get rid of Tommy Morstead then. They were supposed to get him out of here then. But for whatever reason, they decided to keep Tommy Morstead on the team. And then all of a sudden, Blake Gillikin just came up with an injury that sidelined him for the entire season out of the blue. So, I mean, it was one of those things. But Tommy Morstead didn't look like himself. And that's one of the reasons, it was time for him to go. You know what I'm saying? He punted at a high level for many years and eventually Father Time caught up with Tommy Morstead. So, yeah, that's a part of it, man. The Saints secondary The Saints special teams, to be honest with you, fam, y'all know I've been kind of hard on the special teams. I was really kind of peeved and pissed at the special teams last year. Y'all know it. I think our coverage units did a decent job, but our punt return, kick return was pathetic. Yeah, Will was a microcosm of everything that was going wrong in the special teams unit. I think last year the special teams overall really, really didn't look like they were supposed to look. They didn't look like a top 5 or a top 10 unit. They could not open up creases and running lanes for our fantastic kick returners like Deontay Harris and Marquez Callaway to get touchdowns. Last year we averaged more kick returns and punt returns than any other team in the NFL, but 0 touchdowns. So listen, that was the main reason. That's why you see a lot of these guys not here, the Justin Hardys and the Craig Robertsons. A lot of these guys are not here anymore, and you see faster, speedier guys and an emphasis to find guys that are good on special teams. A la Adam Armada, fullback they picked up from the Carolina Panthers, is a special teams beast. Guys like Lawrence Woods from Truman State, he's a special teams beast. He's an excellent gunner and a hell of a kick returner, punt returner, and several other players on secondary, including linebackers like Shaq Smith, Sutton Smith, and other players involved that can come in and help out on the Saints special team. So the emphasis is also not only to improve upon the defenses and the offense, but also add value on the special teams level, because we need all 3 areas of the team to perform at a high level for the team to have sustained success, real sustained success, and not with the octopus David Griffin is pushing on the Pelican side of things with his generalities and nothing specific. So, but the reality is if we get everybody firing off, all cylinders firing off, there's nobody that can deal with the Saints. And we're gonna make believers of them all. Anyway, let's move on to the next article, family. We're gonna go into this one right here. The Caesars Superdome naming rights. Of course, the New Orleans Saints the Superdome has a new name on it. Well, gonna be anyway. It's the Caesars Superdome. That's right, the Caesars Superdome. The casino, yes, the casino Caesars Superdome naming rights okayed by Louisiana Legislature and $138 million naming rights deal. So to put their lettering on the public building known as the Superdome that was paid for by taxpayers' public dollars and used for private purposes, how much of that $138 million do you think you will receive? None, not 1 penny. But shouldn't that go to many? One day I'm gonna have a store. I'm gonna do a whole show on TSC Q&A live about where this money goes. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this damn money. That's a lot of money, man. The Mercedes-Benz money was a lot. It was like 80 million. It's like 138 million. But anyway, let's get into the article. All right, Louisiana sports fans and potential high rollers, welcome to the Caesars Superdome. An agreement between the Saints and Caesars Entertainment, Inc. for the naming rights to the Superdome was approved by the state lawmakers Thursday, paving the way for the casino operator to put its name and logo on the iconic New Orleans stadium. The 20-year deal is a 20-year deal. The last one was a 10-year deal. This is for 20 years. 20 years. 20 years. 20 years. $138 million. In line with stadiums in mid-sized cities, but far less than stadium naming rights in major markets such as Los Angeles and Houston. It will be paid entirely to the Saints as a part of the team's 2009 contract with the Louisiana Stadium and Exposition District known as the Superdome Commission, which has oversight over the state-owned property. So you got an unelected board of bureaucrats that's giving that money totally over, that's operating over the dome. You cannot elect those bureaucrats that's running that consortium of people there, whatever they're talking about. That commission is not it's not an elected board, it's an appointed one. This is amazing. 20 years, 138 million would be paid entirely to the Saints. You want to put that there? Y'all remember this, because we're going to revisit this sometime down the line. All of it, 138 million going to the Black and Gold Saints. I told you the Saints are well compensated here. We've taken care of the Black and Gold Saints for years. The contracts involved when Tom Benson passed away and transitioned to a higher life, and that was left over. They had the contracts that was signed after Katrina with the renewing of the Saints coming back to the city. They then padlocked those documents so we can't read them to find out that they don't charge them for nothing. I'm keeping it real with y'all. Nobody don't talk about this. stuff, but I'm giving you all that I can give you on the story, and not half of the shit just to stay football related, because this is the great same thing. After all, the smartest black and gold family members in the building who want to know more than just football. They want to know the money behind where the football and all this kind of stuff, because it's tied from you. It's your money anyway, right? Anyway, the Saints pledged to spend all the revenue on the $450 million stadium renovation that's currently underway. Okay, so 138 million over 20 years. Somebody get their calculator out there and put in the chat. Put in the chat, family, about how much money would that be annually? 20 million. Hold on, where my phone at here? Let me break that down. I'm sorry. Let me just figure this out, fam. The numbers, I just want to know annually how much money that is. So let me see if I can get my calculator out here and run that down right quick. Okay, you got $138 million divided by 20 years. Okay, that's $7 million a year. All right, thank you, Pelican Nola. Thank you. 7 million, 6.9, but 7 million to round it off. You're right, $7 million. $7 million a year for the next 20 years just to have the names on the door. Wow. But the Saints said they pledged to spend all of the revenue on the $450 million stadium renovation that's currently being underway. But that renovation, that money is already there. The $450 million, that's only part of a renovation. There's even more money that's supposed to be coming up, as the Saints are not just, they're peeling panels off the side of the building, punching holes in the roof and the side of the facade of the Superdome to add in more lighting. They're going to take a lot of the steps, the walk-in stairs out, and put in escalators and make it more sleek and kind of futurize the inside of the dome. But the $450 million is coming from you. So we're going to pay all that money to you over the 20 years, 138, but the 450 is already given. Plus there's more money on the way. Anyway, I ain't gonna get into that. Let's keep it moving. Saints spokesman Greg Bensel, remember him? That's the same dude that was tied to the Catholic stuff that was going on, who was feeding information on how to cover stuff up. Remember that? Was still finalizing his partnership with Caesar, and the official announcement. I just want to make sure y'all remember these people. The name change would occur once the agreement is inked. Caesar's spokesman would not comment until the deal is complete. But on Thursday, pictures were already circulating of Caesar's lettering going up inside the Superdome as construction crews worked and public officials toured the building. It's a done deal, said State Senator Bodie White, who heads the joint budget committee that approved the naming deal. The deal represents a key step for the Saints organization in its hunt for a sponsor to succeed the Mercedes-Benz. The German automaker bought the Superdome naming rights in 2011 for 10 years for $50 to $60 million. So look at that. The agreement ended July the 15th. In recent days, workers removed the silver lettering of the car maker's name and started prepping to remove the logo from the Superdome's gleaming white roof. When the Caesars agreement is finalized, the Saints will be the first National Football League team to play in a stadium named for a casino. Hard Rock, the hotel, restaurant, live entertainment, and gambling company that holds naming rights to the home venue of the Miami Dolphins, wasn't allowed to have any reference to gambling when this agreement was made in 26, because the NFL is feeling more and more comfortable with its connection to the casino game. There being more and more thing. At first, they used to try to hide that, family. They didn't want to have it. The NBA didn't want to have nothing to do with Vegas, because people know that the odds makers and all that is ran through Vegas. So they wanted to try to hide the connection publicly that these pro leagues have to Vegas. Nowadays, they feeling like we don't have to do that anymore. We can come out and let this happen, because you see all the stuff, all the little gambling and all that. The NFL get a part of all of that. All the little sports betting stuff, they get a portion of all that. And we're talking tens of billions of dollars here. So, yeah, why hide it? The two other venues in major professional sports affiliated with casinos, however, the National Hockey League's Arizona Coyotes play at the Gila River Arena, which is tied to a casino group, and the Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut is home to the Women's National Basketball Association's Connecticut Sun. Evan Holmes, an exec at the ASM Global, which operates the Superdome on behalf of the Superdome Commission, told, so you got a board of unelected bureaucrats that hired another group to run the dome. So it's amazing. Told the commission group Thursday that the Caesars deal won't affect the Superdome's ability to host amateur events such as high school football championships or NCAA basketball Final Four. It also said the logos won't compromise the Superdome's iconic nature. The building has the status that it does, and it didn't want to risk any negative impact of that, really. For Caesars, the naming rights could help make the Reno, Nevada-based company a preeminent gambling brand in Louisiana at a critical time. Lawmakers opened the doors to sports betting during this year's legislation. Also the weed and marijuana stuff. They're looking for money. They need money. They need money, baby. The company, which operates dozens of casinos and other entertainment venues across the United States and overseas, is also in the process of rebranding the Harrah's Casino that it runs at the foot of Canal Street under the Caesars moniker, though the timing of that change has not been finalized. While the Superdome is owned by taxpayers, okay, good he pointed this out because I've been saying it. While the Superdome is owned by taxpayers and overseen by a state agency, the specifics of the Caesars deal will remain undisclosed. Did you get that, baby? Baby, did you hear that, baby? Say, well, Q, you harping on nothing, Q. Why you harping on that, Q? I'm only bringing to light the fact that nobody might not tell you that or even throw that in football talk because it's a part of the whole goddamn thing. You can't have the football on the field without the money that's here. So the money begets everything else. And what I'm saying is because I'm promoting family members to take it to another level and get deeper than the epidermis level of this stuff, because this is what it's really about. While the Superdome, and it's in the article, as you can see, while the Superdome is owned by the taxpayers, I've been saying that, this is the article, y'all see it for yourself, owned by the taxpayers and overseen by a state agency, the specifics, which is unappointed, is unelected, which is appointed and what is appointed versus unelected, which you can't elect those guys, they just appoint them, so you can't remove them. The specifics of the deal will remain undisclosed. Did you hear what I just said, baby? Why? Because because they don't want you to know the particulars of what's really going on. It's the same thing with the Saints contract with the state and the city. They sold us out. The Saints are supposed to be paying rent on both the Superdome and the Pelicans, the Smoothie King Center. They don't pay no rent, baby. They barely pay taxes, baby. They get all the concessions, baby. They get all the parking for buildings we pay for. You ever been to the arena and you ever been to the Superdome and paid $20 or $25, whatever it is now, to park in those things, and those facilities been paid for over and over again? Why you charging me $20 to park there, baby? Baby, why you charging me 3 times what them shirts worth, baby? How I got to pay you 2 and 3 times over for this shit when I'm already paying for the buildings, paying for the lights, paying for the water, paying for everything? When you drive by there and see the building lit up like a Christmas tree, baby, guess who paying the bill? You are, baby. Guess who paying the renovations? You are, baby. And why you saying all that, Q? I'm saying that because you supposed to be getting this goddamn money, not them. You. Even though I'm a black and gold man down hard to the core, I'm a man first, and I'm a man that believe in doing it right. And that's something that always pissed me off about these deals, is that we as the Saints people, the black and gold, have to change this, because this is totally wrong to let them get away with taking $130+ million for a building they didn't even pay for and then living in it for rent free just because they play football down here. That's unacceptable. Anyway, let me keep this going, man. The documents, and they say undisclosed because they don't want you to know. According to the handout the lawmakers received Thursday committee meeting, the document says Caesar signed a confidentiality agreement with the Saints to avoid putting the team at a competitive disadvantage. No, they just didn't want you to see the particulars that's going on there, baby. They hide it all from you while telling you it's your team. While the team wishes to be fully transparent, please, and respects the members' questions about the financial term, the team asks that the financial terms remain confidential. Yeah, but you want to be transparent, but you want to keep everything closed. Which is it? The Eric Smallwood, the president of Apex Marketing Group in Detroit, which advises on sports sponsor deals, said the headline terms of the Caesars deal are roughly in line with New Orleans' ranking as the 50th largest designated media market in the U.S. But in larger markets, naming rights deals have been substantially more lucrative. How more lucrative can it be? You don't own the building and you putting the name on it, and you're making $100 million over the next 20 years. That's like me coming to your house or wherever you live at and putting sports coma stuff all over the facade of your building, of your house or your cars, and then not give you a dime of it. And I reap all of the benefits of that publicity. And I don't give you like, man, Q got his stuff all about his sports coma stuff all over the great thing, all over our cars and our houses. And we supposed to be getting something for this? Nope. You know, and it's amazing. But what more can you ask for? You getting it, you don't own nothing and you getting all the money. So what the hell? Small would say the headline figure is only a part of these deals, which typically include side sponsorship agreements that can generate millions of additional dollars a year for the sports franchises. See, it's all about them. It's just more of the same. When you start getting into the numbers like I did, you guys will start getting as pissed off as I am to find out they're making tens of millions to billions of dollars and not giving the people who built the buildings or the stadiums in which they're making tens of billions of dollars off of a one damn penny. That is wrong, man. If your money went to that, then you should be getting money from that, or at least severe tax breaks because of it. Not being forked out and paid and screwed over because we want a sports team down here. It's a right and a wrong way to do stuff here. This is a wrong way, man. In addition to the Saints home games, the Dome hosts about 200 events per year and features scores, concerts, several national championship football games. They get cuts of all that. So whatever's coming out of that is support. They get it all. So it ain't just about the Saints playing in there. You know, they did the number one tennis there. They get whatever. Everything's free coming out of there. Concessions, naming rights money. And listen, they do the same thing on the facility. The Saints did not build the practice facility down on Airline Highway. We did. We built that facility. That was taxpayers' money. Go do your homework. So the facility you built for them to train out of, that multi-million-dollar facility for both the Saints and the Pelicans, they then put the naming rights of the Ashna Hospital on top of that building and had made money off of that. How you putting your names on shit that you don't own, but you're getting $130 million off it? I'm just posing the question, man, because nobody won't talk about this shit. But when the money start coming out, they're going to have their goddamn hands out for it. Anyway, let's move on, man, because that done pissed me off. But this is a rendition of what it's supposed to look like. Caesar Superdome here with the new model. And this is just, people just came up with some graphic text. And this is what it's supposed to look like from on top. You know, it had the Caesars thing and then all this kind of stuff. So we'll see, man. It's just amazing to me, to say the least, man, that these buildings are not, that the right way to do it is whoever built the buildings, they're supposed to get a cut of the money. And that's the taxpayers. You know, and it's just wrong. And then we let them get away with it because we too busy caught up in the football side of it. We're not looking at everything, and that's not how we're supposed to operate. So that's the part of it right there. Let's go to the next article. Saints training camp preview, roster locks, and long shots at the defensive end position. We'll be previewing each position group every day, twice a day for now until New Orleans Saints rookies race each other to the door for the start of camp. At previously scouting the landscape for the quarterback, in New Orleans, we'll turn our attention to the defensive end rotation, a spot that could get highly competitive as the summer continues. These previews are structured into 3 tiers: roster locks, certainties to make the team, players on the bubble, those with something to prove, and long shot players at the end of the depth chart. Things will change once the pads go on and new opportunities present themselves. So let's get into the interview. Now, the roster locks as far as the defensive ends are concerned, according to the article from Saints Newswire, it's Cam Jordan, Marcus Davenport, and Peyton Turner. I'm comfortable saying that these 3 are locked in at a position where the Saints usually keep just 4 or 5 players. Each of them are first-round picks in various stages of development. Jordan wants to show his dip in production last year was an aberration, while Davenport still needs to break out after a disappointing start to his career. Turner should be eager to make a strong first impression in his rookie camp. On the bubble, he's saying Carl Granderson to new Passanio. Granderson's 5 sacks last year was a big step forward, but he has to do more to stand out. And what often hasn't been a heavy rotation snaps will be tough to come by. Passanio history of lining up inside at times could help his case to make the team. So I'm glad he did mention that. If I'm guessing today, both players cracked the week 1 roster, but it shouldn't shock us if one of them doesn't make the cut, given New Orleans' usual approach to the position. Well, you got Peyton Turner and Davenport and Carl Granderson, in my opinion. The Saints keep 4 or 5 defensive ends, and those 5 will be to new Passanio, who's a tweener. But you'll see Passanio more at defensive interior lineman than you will see him at defensive end. Even though Cam Jordan, Davenport will be the starters, Peyton Turner and Carl Granderson will be their backups. And then, of course, you see Malcolm Roach play that position. You can see Zach Bowen moving there at certain spots to play the position if injuries occur, because we know Davenport had some issues with injuries this year. I think he'll be fine. But Carl Granderson should be marked in the locks because Carl Granderson ain't going nowhere. And Tanu Passanio has the versatility to play inside and outside, so he's not going to be on the bubble. These guys should make it. The only way Passanio doesn't make it is if he gets hurt or he's just horrible. Then the Saints will look elsewhere. But Passanio is a guy, him and Granderson, that shouldn't be make the team. Now, long shots, he says, and I agree, Noah Spence and Marcus Willoughby, these are guys that, that probably be practice squad players at best. Spence lost his 2020 season to a summer knee injury, so this could be a make it or break it situation for an NFL career. Will be joining the Saints practice squad after initially signing with the Ravens out of college. Right now, both of them are on the outside looking in, and these are really practice squad guys, especially Marcus Willoughby. Noah Spence was a guy that they had some NFL experience, but that guy can't stay healthy. Boy, he look in the mirror and get hurt. So, I mean, hopefully the Saints really want to see what this kid could do. He's more of a linebacker than anything, kind of undersized. They got him at end, like an edge rusher. But if you watch the footage on Noah Spence, he gets swallowed up at time because he looks more like a linebacker to me than a defensive end. I wonder if playing him at that position is the reason why he keep collecting these injuries. Maybe he's not big enough or physical enough because he's like 6'1" or something. Playing that position like 230, 40 pounds. He should really be at linebacker, not at defensive end. I never understood why Spence is there. And he made some noise for the Buccaneers when he was brought into the league at that position, but maybe you need to consider changing his position because I don't think his body made to play that defensive end position. Even though he has speed when he's healthy to get around, but he gets swallowed up when it's time when the big nasties come out to get blocked. He gets pushed out of there. So we'll see how it all shakes. Willoughby, in my opinion, could be a practice squad guy once again. We'll see how it all shakes. But I think Granderson, Passanio, of course, Davenport, Peyton Turner, and Jordan all make the team. The Saints want to keep at least four depth, 2 for each. Davenport's injury history, of course, Cam's getting a little older. And, of course, you have Passanio who can double as an end or defensive lineman, which is a good value pick for him. So that's that article right there. Let's surmise. Let's go over the articles that we covered. We covered this one right here, Saints training camp preview as far as defensive ends concerned. We went and talked about the naming rights deal, which I think is just appalling to me. That the people not getting any of the money, and that people put this all together. They're not giving the money to the people. And then of course Chauncey Gardner-Johnson hints at Saints super secondary, what he said based on his tweet right here, saying let Xavien, CD, PG, Malcolm, and Marcus Sheesh at the Saints super secondary man. So interesting, man, to say the least. And that'll bring us back to this. Now, fam, like I said, I'm not going to hold you guys very much. What's up, Ray? Ray Finesse in the building. Who there to you, fam? Appreciate you. As well, Marty Frost as well. Quan Alexander. Marty, what's up, Quan? Mentions Quan. And Quan Alexander is talking to other suitors. We'll see where he ends up. Kevin Conley, who there to you, fam, says, what's been happening that they never, ever discuss is how far we are able to trade with teams. No one mentioned how the NFL teams are paying cash to one another to seal these deals. It was set up as such. A lot of people don't even know that the NFL is set up like a nonprofit organization where they don't pay as much taxes. Now, is that crooked, or the fact that they're just taking advantage of loopholes that was created that you got to have a certain amount of money to do? Because some of the richest people in the country use nonprofit organizations because they know 2 things they can do here. That's why when a player gets money, his accountant tell him, listen, whatever you do before you get this money, you need to go find a charity or find something you can champion, whatever cause, whether it's, helping the homeless people, helping female, helping women come out of jails and acclimate into jobs back in society, successful, whatever you do, helping the elderly people, whatever you want to do, find it, start an organization behind it. And what you'll do is you'll get a 501c3 organization. You get various tax breaks that come along with that. My accountant people know what I'm talking about. And also you can be able to have the breaks of having the tax benefits with the organization, as well as having good PR for the cause that you're a champion. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a lot of stuff. I'm dropping game. I'm sprinkling game now. I'm letting y'all know because ain't nobody going to tell you this, and we should know. But they take advantage of your ignorance. I'm telling you, they constantly do it. Tramal says, I'm going to tell Ms. Benson that, Q, and pay tax on Superdome. Oh, they'll tell you, we do pay that. No, you don't. You don't. No, you don't. You don't. Greg said, I don't blame you, Q. Every word you say is on point. You have the right to be pissed off, and I don't blame you at all. Yeah, and it's everybody. What's up, Charles? Who that to you, fam? But I'm just saying, fam, what's right is right, man. What's right is right. Those buildings, that's 100. I just put up the numbers there. The last deal for 10 years was 60 to 80 million, I think it was. This one is more than double that. It's 20 at 138, 7 million a year for what? You don't own that. How you getting $7 million for something you don't own? How is that possible? Unless something wrong with it. But see, as long as they do it right in front of you, because we supposed to be woke, and there's this whole fake woke movement, and mostly people saying they woke, sleep as a fuck. All of them sleeping. Because you don't let the corporations tell you that you woke. In anything backed by the corporations, it's a fraud. It has to be organic and not astroturf. AstroTurf means a fake garbage time shit that was set up by the corporation to steer how you think. We got to own our thoughts and take it back. We can't allow them to guide us into the future, because they're creating a hell for everybody where they're stealing from your babies. You know, this is what it is. So like I said, remember what I always say, family, the more intelligent run this whole system, this matrix, whatever you want to call it, they run it. So if you can get your game up and understand how it ran, you can compete at that level as well. Because that's the decisive disadvantage that you have, is the information. It ain't fact that nobody's better than nobody. It's about information. That's the key. They call it intelligence, but it's really it's information. Knowing how things operate, you can have a perfect stratagem in place so you can be able to do what you need to do to get up here and not be down here. You follow me on that? You dig on that? Who that to you, Ramsey? Big ups to you. When that stuff happened, that's why I said, man, it's ridiculous. Yeah. And then the NFL, and another part about it, the NFL didn't want to have ties to the casino industry because people would put casino NFL together, meaning rigged. They didn't want to they shied away from that for years. Paul Tagliabue and even David Stern said that he didn't want to have no ties to the NFL. But these new commissioners like Goodell and this other guy that run the NBA, they all about a dollar. You know, so they'll do whatever it takes. They'll put teams in Las Vegas eventually. You know, they'll show you some of the ties publicly between the casinos, even though the gaming platforms that you gamble and you bet on, the fantasy stuff that you pay to do, all that money goes through Vegas into the NFL's pockets. It's a one motion right to them. They're making tens of millions of dollars coming up with that fantasy system in which you pay to play. Man, they're making tens of millions. They wasn't making that kind of money. That's relatively something that, you know, that when they got that internet, they made that shot right through the roof. And we all know they all about a dollar. They don't care nothing about a dollar. They don't care if we hate the commissioner, do they? Everybody hates Goodell. Did they pull him out of there yet? Nope. You know why? Because they get paid with him. They don't care if you like him or not. I don't care if you like him or not. He make us a lot of money. I don't care if he screwed the Saints over and didn't want to replay that game. We don't care about that. We don't care if you try to steal a Who Dat name from you. We don't care. We love Goodell. We love Goodell because Goodell make money. That's why we paying Goodell $20+ million a year. That's right. You're $20 million for a slithering, slimy snake like Roger Goodell operating. It's just amazing, man. All right. Big ups to the rest of the fam. Look, fam, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the rest of the family members that we're going to do this. We're going to pop up tomorrow. We're going to talk about it more as well. And let me see here. Let me get a few more comments in before I leave, fam. I don't want to just leave y'all like that. Ray says, now we got to drive over the bridge. What you saying, Ray? He said, how long the Superdome been there? He said, now we got to drive over the bridge and see the Caesar Superdome. He said, right. Caesar ain't represent nothing but evil, no cap. Represent nothing but evil. How you put Caesars and the Saints together? That's terrible. That's funny though, Ray. That's funny, man. How you put Caesars and the Saints together at the same time? That's funny. Oh man. That's terrible, man. That's terrible. How you put the Saints and Caesars together? So I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know how you put that together. Saints and Caesars. Oh, Saints with a gambling casino. That's terrible. What's up, T Dirty? Who that to you, fam? Appreciate you, man, being here as well. Much love to the fam. What's up, Elite? Big ups to you. All right. Big ups to y'all, guys. Appreciate y'all, man, being in the building, man. Y'all hit the like button, man. That's funny, man. That's funny. All right. T Dirty says Demario Davis and Quan in the Bizarro would be He said in Bizarro would be PJ Williams and Ken Crawl. Oh. All right. True said they're gonna call us the New Orleans Sinners. All right, hey man. I can't listen, I just tell y'all how it is, fam. They put the Saints in the casino together. Baby, that's wrong, baby. Baby, let me tell you something, baby. Baby, Saints in the casino, baby, that's not something that's not even supposed to be together, baby. Baby, how you put the Saints in the casino together, baby? Baby, how that work, baby? That's two separate places, baby. Baby, that's not supposed to even be the place, baby. You can't put that together, baby. That's wrong, baby. All right, RG, what's up, fam? What's happening? Ryan says showgirls and casino. Oh, man, I'm telling you, man, that's crazy. Oh, man, that's terrible. That's funny, too, man. That's funny. All right, fam, man, listen, I'm gonna clock out on that, man. Appreciate y'all with the laugh on that one, fam. Appreciate the laugh on that one. All right, so much love to the Great Saint Think Tank, man. I appreciate y'all for chiming in. Brother Damon says, Q, so you think Akeem Hicks will want to come back here? To my knowledge, he hates the Saints' guts. No, that's not the case, bro. Absolutely not. He didn't like how he was treated because the Saints unceremoniously shipped him out of here and try to make it look like he was at fault for that. That was totally wrong. But the same thing was done to Malcolm Jenkins too when the Saints just let Jenkins go. And Sean Payton regretted that. I think just like we have Jenkins back on the team, just like we have Patrick Robinson back on the team, my goodness, I think Akeem Hicks would be worthwhile, but I don't know if they're looking at that. You see what I'm saying? It's not like he's a free agent. He's under contract. And his contract, he got a pretty decent contract. So I don't think he hates the Saints. He didn't like how he exited, and he talked, about how he exited because they tried to make him look like he couldn't play. But I think that's totally different. The guy that was running the defense is not here no more, and I think that would actually he would be really good in that defense, to be honest with you. So that's my take on it. Thank you, Damon, for the question, man. Marty says with the name like Caesar's dumb, Mike. But the name ain't exactly what I was looking for with a casino, man. So. But the politicians approved it. You know what I'm saying? They approved it. Yeah, you're right, Jared. Yeah, hot and ready. Caesar's Pizza. Little Caesar's Superdome. See, they got it mixed up. It's not casino. It's not Caesar's Casino. It's Little Caesar's Superdome. That's the pizza joint. That's what it's got to be. It can't be the casino, right? Well, yeah, you know it is, All right, so fam, with that being said, man, I'm going to step on that one, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in for this Thursday stream. Like I said, I wasn't going to keep y'all on this one. It's about just shy of an hour. And listen, I'm going to holler at you guys tomorrow for the Friday stream. Remember, we'll be back tomorrow. 2 really good shows. We'll have the Sports Coma Friday stream where the family members can chime in for TGI Saints Talk Friday. And, of course, we'll have the Pelican Post-Game Report for later on that night. So with that being said, I'm going to chime in off of that. I appreciate y'all being here. Y'all hit the like button, subscribe, and I'm going to see the family later. Peace.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons. We won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the Sports Coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the Sports Coma, all we know is Saints Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Say they gon' beat them Saints. Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that?
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.